your pride. Show me your greatness.
What's happening, plebs? Today I've got a bit of a unique deck. It's called Demise Monarchs, and it's pretty much reliant on a ritual monster called Demise. A lot of you would know. It's kind of decent. It's okay. It works really well. And I just thought I would do something a little bit different for fun. This is made by my friend Elliot, so shout outs to him. And yeah, I just thought I would showcase it. We were going to play it for nationals, but decided that there's just better options, really. So I think this deck could probably do well at a tournament. And you know, if you have these cards lying around, feel free to give it a shot yourself. But yeah, so going into it, just the one Kuraz for the Aether Disruption. And I'm playing like 3 of these Monarchs, Ryza, Caius, and Destalos. Now, the idea here is that End of the World will tribute a level 8, so just having lots of 8s is really good. It means you don't need to rely too much on return. Just having lots of names is kind of like the purpose of having lots of fodder, and being able to keep your plays going turn after turn. And they're all not really particularly bad cards at all. A lot of Monarch players don't even actually ever play Ryza at all. But he's kind of cool because, like, against Cosmo, for example, you can do like fun plays where like you can like get the Garunics from their graveyard and then put it on top of their deck so they draw it for next turn. And Tesla's obviously good for the mirror match, and Caius is good sort of all round, really. But yeah, the idea is just to have lots of names so you contribute for End of the World, like whenever you draw your Demise. So that's it for the different names. The 3 Erebus, 3 Aether, Staple Monarchs, I guess. I don't know, a lot of people like play like 2 Erebus, I don't know why, but like, I mean, but Erebus particularly is good in this deck because you can tribute it to summon Demise and then add it back with ditching a spell. So he's particularly really good to draw and tribute. And for the last monsters, I'm playing the Quantal Engine. Just always really liked it. Helps produce lots of fodder. Oh, and also I completely forgot to mention, 5 and 3 is 8, so you're able to like just E-Tele pre-prep is like a Demise summon. So you contribute these 2 for Demise, and obviously you're going to trigger all their effects. So they're very, very good in this deck because of the level 8 factor, primarily, is like why they're here. But Red Layer, of course, is very, very good just for tribute fodder in general. Blue Layer, obviously not that great to draw, but like, you know, like that's the life. So 3 Pan, 3 Stormforce, 3 Tenacity, 3 Domain and 1 Return. This is a bit of an interesting ratio. It's mostly because of the fact that Domain is a little bit better. 3 Domain is better than the 3 Return in this build, particularly because of the fact that you blow up the board with Demise, and then you can tribute it by reducing level of your Monarch in your hand. So this isn't obviously this is not here for the extra deck effect, because you know I am playing an extra deck, but you reduce the level, and it means you just tribute off the Demise. So it means that it's easier to get fodder with your Demise plays. That's why you're playing 3 and 1. You could probably play 3 Return and 1 Domain, but I just think being able to have the 1 fodder requirement be very, very important after your Demise play. So that's why that's in here at that particular ratio. 2 E-Tele and an Upstart, consistency, Quantals. Like I said, E-Tele and pre-prep is like a, you know, 2 card combo Demise. So really cool. 3 Prime. Rank 5 plays and stuff like that with your Red Layer, and yeah, very good card. So the stuff that is what this deck's based around and why it's kind of good is this card here called Pre-Prep. Now, because the format's just kind of man stuff, decided that you know, the idea is that, you know, just looking through the set of Shining Victories and seeing what there was nothing particularly really good that would like help most decks. You know, obviously Fire King Island was like the best card that came out of that set. Cherries are good, but like nothing that was really there that would really facilitate like a good, like great deck. But then my friend like saw this card and realized, you know, this card like as a standalone card, pre-preparation of rights, is really, really, really good. Just as like, you know, in a vacuum, this thing is like, you know, borderline broken. You know, it's just the issue is that there is nothing really good that can take the full advantage and utilize it to its maximum potential. So because of that, you're just going to try abuse this as much as you can. So drawing these obviously is not the greatest. You just want to pre-prep for them. But if you're able to have like a pre-prep and a tribute and a summon after, you can sort of just win the game there, because you can like blow up an entire field and then tribute over for a Monarch, and then a Rebus something at the hand or something like that, or Thestalos or Ryza, put back something bad like that you've blown up and put it to the top of their deck. It's just really, really good. So the idea of this was to just like, you know, take full advantage of pre-preparation of rights just being such a good standalone card, and the best cards that we found that went with that was Demise. There's a lot of good like ritual monsters. A lot of them like there's just so many problems with like most of the ritual monsters. None of them are blowouts, which is, you know, kind of what Demise is a blowout. It's level 8 exactly required tribute, and there was no really other deck that's able to do that, like except Monarchs. And Monarchs obviously have the Rebus advantage of being able to recur your tribute fodder. So that's kind of like what the major advantage of this was. And also the fact that this guy isn't once per turn. So against Burning Abyss, against Cosmo, you're able to just keep demising the board over and over again until they can't float anymore. So you can pay like, you know, 6,000 life points just to like wipe the board clean of Burning Abyss monsters, and then you can summon Aether, and Aether Demise is game exactly. So yeah, like I said, that's what the whole purpose of this deck was to rely on this Demise engine, blow them out, wipe the board, and then like go for game with Aether, or loop their hand, or put them on so little resources that they can't come back. But yeah, and obviously some of the issues the deck has is, you know, drawing these cards like without like any fodder or whatever. But they're like, because the Monarch engine is so like big in and of itself, like it only really needs like 3 cards like to like facilitate most of its combos, that having an extra card like Brick in your hand is like irrelevant, because like what else would it be in that situation that isn't already in here? You know what I mean? Like, what isn't actually already in this deck that these cards would have been, that would have helped facilitate your plays? Squires, potentially. I feel like the deck has more than enough tribute fodder with the domains, the red layers, the e-tellies. Hand traps could be a thing, but obviously they don't facilitate your combos, they don't advance your game state. So really it's just a question of like, there's actually just space. Like the Monarch deck just has a lot of space, and I thought it'd be cool to like try out this thing, since, you know, just fit in this little Demise engine. No better feeling in the world than going into game 2 against Cliffort, summoning Demise, activating Lance, and then blowing up their whole field. Scales, floodgates, everything. No rivalry for them, no strike. Yes, it's really funny. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much everything I have to say. Like I said, I do play an extra deck, but I borrowed a lot of the cards and stuff like that, and a lot of stuff's missing, so I don't want to like dilute the video and make it shit by showing you like 7 cards. There's no point in that. But I do play an extra with this. You could probably not play an extra deck if you want. I wouldn't recommend it, just because the rank 5s with red layers are like really strong. Liger is a really good card, for example. But yeah, so if you guys have any of your Demises lying around, it's not very expensive at all. Like, give it a shot, try it out. I think this deck is really fun, and just purely for the factor of being able to see people's face and you demise them like multiple times, like especially when they read it and realize, oh wait, it's not even once per turn. Yeah, it's a really fun card. And yeah, so I think that's pretty much everything I have to say. Again, shout out to my friend Elliot for making this. And yeah, I was going to take it to nationals. It was going to be like the whole big like secret reveal that I would do a tournament report of afterwards. But there's just better. I don't think this is particularly bad. There's just a lot better, basically. But yeah, if you've watched this far, hashtag Apocalypse in the description, because he kind of looks like Apocalypse from X-Men, right? You know, hashtag Apocalypse. I think that's pretty cool. So hashtag Apocalypse if you've watched this far. Thanks everyone for watching this far. Hope you liked the deck profile. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know what your ideas are and any cool shit you've been trying out with Monarchs, etc, etc. So, thank you and see you next time.
Come, face me. Give in to your pride. Show me your greatness.